Hi, I'm Dr. David Dobson. Welcome to Conversations. Today, my guest is Edoardo Cortesi. Eduardo is a PhD candidate in management engineering at Politecnico di Milano. Today, we will discuss his research, which explores how companies use innovation to address the purpose profit trade off. It's a pleasure to have you on my show, Eduardo.
Thank you so much for having me, David, and nice to meet you.
Eduardo, I'm interested in companies that are trying to do good while also making a profit. What brought your interest to this topic?
So in my background, I came from sociology and I did my master in management. So when I started studying for my masters, I realized that I had a different background for a lot of people that started from economics and then going to management. And so I try to understand and I'm interested in how can companies have a different view of the economic system that what's the usual standard view. So I think that that's what brought me interested to the topic, and then I continue studying in my PhD.
Wonderful. Eduardo, what distinguishes a purpose-driven company from one that isn't?
Yeah. So for a start, I think we have to introduce purpose and the concept. So I like to start by saying that in a famous paper on purpose, it says that there are almost as many definitions of purpose than there are papers on it. So it's a relatively different concept, strange concept to introduce, but the idea is that purpose is an objective that stands beyond profit maximization for companies. The idea is that there are companies that aim to do good in addition to their profit,
Mhm.
and that can be they can do the exact same thing of companies that do not have a purpose. They can, for example, produce I don't know t-shirts or
Mhm.
trousers, but in a different way. So let's, for example, say there's Patagonia, which in addition to their trousers and t-shirts,
Mhm.
aim to make an environmental impact.
Yes.
And there's Shane, which I mean wants to produce like t-shirt and trousers, but does not have this impact view in mind.
Mhm. Eduardo, how is corporate purpose different from traditional sustainability and CSR, corporate social responsibility activities?
Yes. So the core of the issue lies that when we are talking about CSR, about corporate social responsibility, sometimes we might be talking about actions that are not integrated in the company's core business. That might be peripheral, that might be just an add-on to the business. So, for example, the company can, I don't know, use their employees' time to, for example, volunteer for a day in all through the year. And yeah, they are making something good. They are volunteering, but just for a day. They are not changing their business model, changes how they operate to really incorporate the purpose. So this is what's differentiate CSR and purpose. Usually, when you're trying to incorporate purpose, you have a trade-off. You have to choose if you really want to follow sustainability during your action, or if you just want, I mean, to introduce something that is peripheral and not in your core business.
Right. Eduardo, I'm interested in how you employed qualitative methods to understand how purpose affects a business model. Could you walk me through your research process for this project?
Yes, so I choose to implement qualitative methods because, although purpose is an old concept, the research on corporate purpose is just at the start. And at this point of the research, I think it's more valuable to to really understand what this concept is about. And you can really understand to, for example, interview it with the leadership team or
Mhm.
to having relevant case studies. You can also do that by using quantitative methods. There are really good papers in the literature that use quantitative methods. But I think that, I mean, coming from qualitative sociology in my background, I want to use my strengths that lies in qualitative stuff. to like understand the topic.
So your research process primarily involve observation, ethnography, like what type of qualitative research are you're doing for this project?
I'm doing interviews for two papers out of three
Okay,
of my dissertation
okay.
because I really want to understand like how people perceive purpose, how people implement it. And
Okay.
from the other one, I'm doing a qualitative content analysis.
Mm,
So we have a big sample of Italian companies,
okay.
and we are trying to, I mean, differentiate between different innovation practice, the one which are really transformative, the one which are used to embed purpose, and the one which they are not.
Wonderful. Eduardo, based on your research, what are some of the key insights you found regarding how a company's purpose influences its innovation and business model?
Yeah. So I think I can explain this with an example. So let's say I interviewed some times ago a big supermarket chain, and one thing that they mention, it's a strategy to embed purpose and still make profit. So,
Mm,
for example, I want to go to the supermarket today. I want to buy some meat.
mhm,
And the meat, at least in Italy, has an expiration date. You cannot
mm,
sell it anymore
mm,
once it has expired. So what the company does is a couple of days before the expiration date,
mm,
they put the meat in a different section and they
mm,
sell it for half the price.
mm,
That means they can provide value for the customer that
mm,
just wanted to buy the meat and
mm,
now he can buy half the price.
mm,
And they can avoid losing money
mm.
because when the meat expired, they cannot sell it anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not making that much margin, but
Mm,
they're still making a profit. And
mm,
at the same time, they're providing something good for the customer. So it's
mm,
a win-win situation and a
mm.
way to address the trade-off.
Yeah. Very good example. Eduardo, how does a company's leadership and its employees collectively drive the changes needed to align purpose with business goals?
Yeah, so uh, talking about purpose, the leadership team is essential because most of the times, especially when studied big corporation, like purpose is a top-down approach. So the leadership team tries to define what is purpose to them. A lot of the time they also listen to what others employees have to say, but the ultimate decision, the like purpose statement or the common benefit finalities, are decided through the leadership team. And then it cascades into the other ranks of the employee.
Mm,
So it's really important that the leadership team has a grasp of purpose, really understand it, so they can communicate it to all the other employees and make it like simple and clear.
wonderful. Eduardo, let's talk more broadly about corporate sustainability and impact. What do you see as the key differences between a company that is simply sustainable and one that is impact driven?
Yes. So, like, let's take, for example, a company that produce petroleum. Okay.
Hmm.
By, for example, putting solar panels on the roof, the company has have become more sustainable in a
Hmm.
sense. They're
Hmm.
trying to act in a way that are sustainable,
Hmm.
but they are not like having a real impact. So
Hmm.
sustainability and impact are really used as an interchanges, but
Hmm.
are really different concepts. Sustainability, as for the case of CSR that I was explaining before,
Hmm.
can be peripheral, can be adopted by companies,
Hmm.
but not like in a changing way. While
Hmm.
impact has three main, like incorporates three main concepts. It has to be intentional, so the company really has to strive to implement it and really have to come from the heart of the company. It has to be measurable because when something is measurable, then it means
Hmm.
that you can control.
Hmm.
And if something is like does not producing value, you can
Hmm.
adjust it.
Hmm.
And then, which is I think the most important, it has to be additional. So the company that produces petroleum by like implementing solar panel on the roof,
Yeah.
it's not doing something in an additional way. It's not like generating and creating more value.
Hmm. Interesting. Eduardo, based on your research, what do you think the future of corporate purpose looks like?
So I think that, at least I hope that in the future, more and more people are going to give purpose a shot. And this is because, we are doing business in a way that's not sustainable and that's like not good from the planet and for the people. Purpose-driven company, like just like, for example, Patagonia that I was referring before, are doing that. So, and they are like trying to make it that purpose can also drive profit. And a company that is profitable and is doing good at the same time is a must choice for like clients and other stakeholders. So I think that's room to incorporate, really incorporate purpose into the company's like strategy and core values.
Yeah. I'm just curious. I mean, as you're speaking, look like the purpose looks great. This business model is definitely should be a new standard. But what are the challenges for companies to adopt this new business model, the purpose-driven companies?
Yes. So in my research, I focus on how can company
Yeah,
like surpass this trade-off.
yeah.
And if it was easy, like everyone will do it.
Hmm,
So the idea is that only by leveraging on what is hard, on
hmm,
only by really using innovation to try and solve
hmm.
or at least mitigate this trade-off can company implement purpose. Everyone can, I mean, write a few sentences, say,
Yeah.
okay, we are
Hmm,
great, we are having this purpose,
hmm,
but the difficult of the thing lies
yeah.
in the like having the ability
Hmm,
and having great ideas to
yeah.
make collide the
Yeah.
like profitability part
Yeah.
and the impact part.
Yeah. Yeah. As you know that, like, I mean, pretty much most companies will have some sort of a impactful statement. I mean, especially in a given business climate. So how do you find the greenwashing and really meaningful changes they bring to the business model?
Yeah. So for example, in one of my papers, I'm like focusing on benefit corporation.
Mm,
And each company can have a purpose statement, a few
mm,
lines
yeah.
that resonates with what they're doing. But in the case of Benefit Corporation, for
Mm,
example,
mm,
you are required by law to have
mm,
at least
mm,
in Italy, at least, to have at least four common finalities that are providing for the social good. You
mm,
are required to have like an external assessment every
mm,
year. You are required to give to your stakeholder like metrics and
mm,
definition on what you are doing.
mm.
So it's more controlled. Everyone can say we are sustainable, we have a purpose.
Yeah.
Not everyone can like back the fact with metrics.
Mm,
That's what there lies in the
mm,
difficulties, and that's what
mm,
real purpose is to me.
Wonderful. Great initiative. What's next for your research, Eduardo?
Well, I for sure want to finish the PhD. That's the main goal. So I have one paper that's already been written and that's going to review, and then I have the other two that focus on benefit corporation. So I'm trying to really understand if benefit corporation can really have an impact and really be a steward for purpose in the future. That's my main research focus at the moment.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your research, Eduardo. I wish you all the best in completing your PhD.
Thank you so much, David.